Sporting's Alcochete Academy is well known for creating world-class superstars, including Cristiano Ronaldo, Luis Figo, and Nani. In addition, it's created the next generation of good players, with more recently Jean Polina, as of this video, has been linked to Bayern Munich, Gonzalo Inacio, who's one of the world's most promising centre-backs, as well as most recently Youssef Chermiti, at 18 years of age, joined Everton for £15 million this summer window. But in addition to the academy, Sporting's scouting network is some of the best in the world. An example of this is finding players like Mateus Nunes from Estorill's academy, Pedro Gonzalez from Famalicão, and more recently, Ivan Fresneda from Real Valladolid. In today's video, we are looking at the next 10 breakout stars who are under the age of 23 and are destined to break out into the Sporting team or to become the world's next best player. I'm Sam Fonseca from All Things Alvalade, and here are the top 10 next Sporting breakout stars. Honourable mention number 1, Abdul Fatawu. As of recording, Fatawu is on the verge of a loan move to Leicester, so this is why he's an honourable mention. If he was still at Sporting, I would have easily put him in the top 4. However, his performances in training haven't been enough to convince Ruben Amorim to keep him as an option for the squad this season, but you can see the talent is there. He's very fast, great on the ball, great technically, and great dribbling ability, as well as skills as well. The sky's the limit for Fatawu, and I think the Leicester move is a great move for him at this stage of his career. With an obligation to buy at 17 million if Leicester get promoted, or Fatawu plays in 60% of the games in the league, it should be a bargain for Leicester. Honourable mention number 2, Samuel Justo. I promise you, I'm not picking him as he just shares the same name as me. At just 19 years of age, Justo completed a loan move to Casa Pia in the Portuguese Premier League, and that looks like a great place to develop for him. Justo can play as a number 8 and also in the centre of midfield. He played 22 games for the B team last year, as well as competing in the Under-19 Euros in 2022. Sporting Guistas will be watching closely at his progress at Casa Pia, and Samuel Justo will have to impress Felipe Martins to get any game time. Number 10, Mateus Fernandes. Mateus is another midfielder that Sporting have as a potential star. Mateus moved to the Sporting Academy at 2016 at just 12 years of age. He made his way up the youth ranks, getting promoted to the B team in 2021 and then the Sporting May team the year after. On the 14th of October 2022, he signed a professional contract with Sporting, having a release clause of 60 million, tying him down till 2027. That same month, he made his professional and senior debut with Sporting as a late substitute in a 3-1 win against Casa Pia in the league. He scored his first goal for the club, albeit a penalty, against Farense in a 6-0 win in the Allianz Cup. This season, he's gotten a loan move to Estoril in the Portuguese First Division, where he'll have a full season of getting more minutes in a league-established club, and is being coached under a great coach and potential Peaky Blinders extra, Alvaro Pacheco. Number 9, Gonzalo Esteves. If you would have asked me last season, or even 2 seasons ago, Gonzalo Esteves might have been my number 1. However, after a failed loan move at Estoril, where only made 3 appearances, including getting a red card in the second game, there have been multiple questions asked about the right back. Esteves made the somewhat controversial move to Sporting from rivals FC Porto on a free transfer, wanting game time under a coach who, at that time, relied on youth players in Ruben Amorim and not getting a sniff under the Porto boss, Sergio Conceição. Within a week, he'd impressed first-team manager Ruben Amorim enough to secure a place in first-team training. Esteves was also included in The Guardian's Next Generation list for 2021, where the article named the best young players in world football. He scored his first goal for Sporting's B team in a 2-0 victory over Cova da Piedade on the 1st of October 2021. 2 weeks later, he made his first team debut with a third round at the Taça de Portugal with Sporting. His Portuguese league debut came on the 18th of December, again starring in a 3-0 win over Gil Vicente. He had been guaranteed his place by Ruben Amorim due to the absences of Pedro Porro and Ricardo Esgaio through injury and COVID respectively. Gonzalo Esteves also became the youngest player to ever play for Sporting in the Champions League at 17 years of age against Ajax, for about 10 minutes, until another player who is on this list came off the bench who was 16 years of age. So it seems like a lot of promise, right? So you may be wondering, what happened? Obviously the loan move to Estoril didn't work out, but Ruben Amorim isn't impressed with the youngster's lack of commitment and training, and when he arrived back from his loan move, he arrived overweight, which led questions about his mentality and work ethic. He can still be a great player, but he needs to work harder than ever before, as Ruben Amorim has said he's not going to play for him in the main team this season. Number 8. João Muniz. Our first centre-back of the list, João Muniz looks to be destined to become a future centre-back for the Portuguese national team. At 18 years of age, he's about to sign a contract that protects him with a €60 million release clause until 2028. Standing at 6'2" at just 18, he still has more room to grow, in height and ability. He currently plays for Sporting B team and has been capped for the Portuguese under-19 squad. He's already excellent at tackling and very good on the ball, which makes him a prime Ruben Amorim favourite. He was integral in the under-19 Champions League for Sporting, as Sporting finished first in the group with Spurs, Frankfurt and Marseille, and the centre-back also kept a clean sheet in the quarter-finals against Liverpool's under-19s. He also made UEFA Youth League's 22-23 Team of the Season. With St. Just still injured, Coates getting older and Quaresma possibly going out on loan, don't be surprised if we see João make the leap to the first team this season. Number 7. Diogo Calai. The only goalkeeper to make this list, Calai, in my opinion, should already be taking over from Adan this season. Calai made his under-23 team debut at 16 years of age and has been the B team's number 1 for many years. Calai is still in the B team, but has been promoted to third choice goalkeeper this season, behind Dan and Franco Israel. The Brazilian is just 19 years of age and was another member of the Champions League youth squad with João Muniz and looked like a veteran and was unstoppable in goal, keeping a clean sheet against Liverpool. He recently signed a professional contract until 2027, and while I personally don't see him playing for the first team this year, if Adan continues to rapidly decline, he could find himself wearing the number 1 sooner rather than later. Number 6. Geny. Perhaps a surprising one to include on this list, Geny is already 22 years of age and a full-fledged Mozambique international, and actually made his first team debut with Sporting in 2021, making his debut in a 3-2 win versus Portimonense, and since then has had loan moves to Guimarães, where he made 11 appearances, and to Maritimo, where they got relegated, but he made 11 appearances. He only scored his first senior goal last season in the 2-1 loss versus Vitória in April 2023. However, with hard work and good training, Ruben Amorim rewarded Geny with the first pre-season and now playing in league games. He's already played 3 games this season, and his most recent against Famalicão might have been his best yet, beating 2 defenders on 2 separate occasions with Elasticos and generally putting in a solid performance. Geny is naturally a winger, but Ruben Amorim has deployed him at right wing back this season as a backup to Esgaio. But with Ivan Frisneda coming in, maybe Geny's minutes will be limited. But so far, Geny has looked like the real deal and should see more game time in other competitions throughout the season. Number 5. Rodrigo Ribeiro. The first and only striker to make the list, Rodrigo is a sure bet to be a superstar. Ribeiro was a part of the Portuguese under-19s that finished runners-up in the under-19s Euros. He signed his first professional contract with Sporting on the 13th of May 2021, and he was promoted to the senior team of Sporting on March 8th, 2022. That same month, he made his professional debut with Sporting in the Champions League in a 0-0 tie coming in Manchester City on the 9th of March 2022 at the Etihad, coming on as a late sub in the 91st minute for fan favourite Islam Slimani. Double R has only made 6 senior Sporting appearances since then, all off the bench, and he didn't feature at all for the first team last season. Ruben Amorim instead opted to pick Shemiti to take Slimani's place as the backup striker. But where Rodrigo has really shined is the Youth League. He scored 7 goals and got 2 assists in 15 games, as well as scoring 5 in 18 for the B team. His strengths are his pace, his finishing and his off-the-ball movement, and his intelligence and versatility allow him to play anywhere along the front line, as a striker, in a supporting role and even on the wing. With Gyökeres and Paulinho the only registered strikers in Sporting's first team, Rodrigo was called up as the third striker, and with Sporting being in 4 competitions this season, there's a very good chance we can see Rodrigo complete a full 90 in the green and white main team this season. Number 4. Diogo Travassos. Diogo Travassos is not only a right back with high potential, but is also linked to Sporting in, some would say, football heritage. He's the grandson of Sporting legend and Cinco Violinos member José Travassos, who won 8 Portuguese league titles. Sporting DNA is in his blood, and what makes it better is that Diogo is actually an insanely talented player. While Travassos is mainly a right back, he can also play as a left back too, and was another member of the youth league team who did so well last year. Travassos made 7 appearances in the tournament, as well as 19 games for the B team, and Diogo was on the verge of a call-up last year to the main team, but missed the second half of the season with a meniscus injury. Now fully fit, Travassos is preparing for another season with the B team, but will also be considered for the main team as well, even making Ruben Amorim's pre-season this year. Number 3, Afonso Moreira. For me, Alfonso is the next big attacking talent, not just in Sporting, but in Portugal in general. He can play on either wing, and his biggest strengths are his pace, his ball control, and dribbling. He had one season at Sporting B before Ruben Amorim decided to promote him this year to the senior squad, and this season, at 18 years of age, he made his debut with the team in a 3-2 win over Vizela on the 12th of August 2023. And although his debut wasn't spectacular, he was played out of position in a wing-back role, whereas Afonso is more of an attacking player. Afonso definitely has the talent and the ability to copy the rise of great wingers before him and become one of the world's best, and right now he's at the best place to do it. He's definitely going to get a lot more minutes this season, and time will tell where his ceiling will be. Number 2, Dario Essugo. Essugo gained worldwide attention when he made his Sporting debut in 2021 versus Vitória Guimarães, coming on as a late substitute for João Mario in a 1-0 win. At 16 years and 6 days, he became the youngest ever debuting in the club's history. He broke another record on 7th December 2021. He became Portugal's youngest player to debut in the Champions League, where he took the field in the second half of a 4-2 away loss to Ajax in the group stage, aged 16 years and 268 days. He then broke another club record following the 5th of March, where he surpassed Luis Figo as the youngest starter at 16 years of age, 11 months and 17 days, in a 2-0 home victory over Aroca. His first start in the league last year for Ruben Amorim came on December 29th in a 3-0 win versus Paços de Ferreira, but Essugo received a red card in the 82nd minute after a bad tackle, exposing his lack of experience at the level. Despite the sending off, Essugo put in a very good performance, managing to complete 88% of his passes and winning 5 tackles. Dario's best qualities are his physical ones. He's well balanced, has good pace, and has the flair to power past opponents with the ball. He's still very strong and can hold his own when in possession. However, he is sometimes a bit too eager to step in to make a challenge, and that has left him in some unfavourable situations. In his 6 games across all competitions for the main team, he has 3 yellow cards and the red card as mentioned earlier. He has also represented Portugal at every youth level, from under 15s all the way to under 20s. He also has displayed good leadership skills and could possibly be a captain in the future, whether for Sporting or Portugal. He's already done so at the youth level for both club and country. With Mateus Fernandes out on loan, Essugo is the 4th midfielder in the rotation, with Bragança, Moreira and Ousmane ahead of him. But this means we should see a lot more minutes from Essugo this season, considering the amount of competitions Sporting are in. Before we get into our number 1, if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and subscribe to All Things Alvalade. We really appreciate the feedback, whether it's good or bad, so please let us know down below what you thought of the video and what you'd like to see next. Without further ado, let's get into the number 1. Number 1, Ousmane Diomande. There was only going to be one choice to pick at number 1, and that is the newly called up Ivorian centre-back Diomande. Diomande spent the first half of last season on loan at Mafra in the 2nd division on loan from Midtjylland, and Sporting fought off the interest of Arsenal to sign the defender for €8.5 million. Some doubts were caused by the price tag, but that quickly turned into delight. And to be honest, I was one of those doubters, but I love Diomande. At 19 years of age, he's come into the team and plays like a veteran. His ball playing ability and his ball control with both feet is unusually good for someone of his size at 6'3". He always looks comfortable on the ball and has the ability to switch play really well. However, one thing I would say he lacks is heading ability. Especially for someone of his size, he is not very good in the air. But last season, Diomande played 9 times for Oslo and has already been scouted by the numerous big clubs in the world, with his powerful stature and his excellent passing ability, which put European clubs on notice. Diomande has excellent balance along with speed and power and can quickly trade speed throughout the game. His ball carrying ability is another asset for top European clubs. Diomande is skilled to beat the opposition press by driving into areas of the midfield and can take 3 and 4 players out of the game in one action. The Ivorian has a bright future and the raw abilities to succeed at the highest level. It wouldn't surprise me at the end of this season he wasn't being linked to clubs like Real Madrid or Man City. And with Sporting shielding Diomande with an 80 million release clause, Sporting could be rolling in the money and could reinvest this in the next big talent. One thing is for sure though, Diomande is 100% the next player that's going to make it big out of Sporting. And that is the end of the video, guys. Did you enjoy this video? Please let us know by giving a like and comment and subscribe down below. Do you think I should have changed the order of some players? Do you think I missed any players? Please let me know down below. I've been Sam from All Things Alvalade, and I'll see you next time. Peace.